In this video, we're going to talk about Airbnb. And here on the daily chart, you can see that we had an indecision candle in here covered up by the big green candle here off this huge gap up. So going forward, this little range that we traded in the high and low of today, that $4 range, 162.58 till about 158, that's going to be the areas of support and resistance we're going to go to as our main areas to watch going forward. Not only because that was the high and lows of today and it was inside that green candle, but because you can see these two areas had a lot of action in the past as supports and resistance. That's going all the way back to April of last year. So after that, what are we looking at for our supports? Well, you're having a little hiccup down here at the 153s. Let me zoom out just a little bit further so you guys can understand why we're choosing that. The 153s right here, you can see back in July, it was a little bit of a mess with us, but really the 150s is where we kind of want to head to if we start breaking below. And then resistance wise, above this 162 area right here that we placed today, it's going to be up here in the 170s. That's going to be your major area of resistance. You're going to have a little stop here and there by the 165s and the 166 areas. Now, what are we looking at 9-day EMA wise? Well, we did cross over, obviously, huge green candle in here, RSI through the roof, volume coming in, obviously, off that huge gap up. And that's kind of what you expect. So, really, we want this 9-day EMA to come back down with the 200 SMA. We want everything to settle down in here for a minute before we actually start picking a direction to go forward, right? Because you cannot sustain all this right here. And this kind of candle in here tells you, hey, the fight's not quite over, but we still need some consolidation in here. So, what does the IV tell us after all of this? Right. So you had that huge volume spike back down, your RSI is high, your 9-day EMA is running away from this 200 SMA with a gap up. What are we looking at IV wise? Well, your IV is telling you it's low right now, right? That's what you expect coming off a huge gap up like this, off of news based earnings and that indecision candle in here. So everything is getting relatively cheap. You're going to have a $3 expected move in here. So that's inside our $4 channel here that we just talked about. So that's going to be an area of concern as well. $3 expected move by this Friday. And then you also have a $10 expected move by the March monthly. So, and please note that there will also a lot of premium traded here on your further dated your leaps out to September. So your September monthlies had a lot of action on the 200 calls in here. So that's going to be also kind of in the back of our mind as well. So the fight's not over up to this 170 just yet, but we do need some consolidation, bring this all back down before we start working our way up higher in here. But again, that $4 channel we traded in today, the 158s to that 162 and a half ish mark, we're going to keep an eye on that going forward here. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find the links to our socials in the description below.